Right now, Yankees fans are split down the middle, timelines are on fire, and one question is dominating every conversation around the Bronx. Is Cody Bellinger actually leaving, or is this another moment where rumors are moving faster than reality? Over the past few days, speculation has exploded. Reports have been twisted, and small comments have been turned into massive headlines. Some fans are already preparing for goodbye posts, while others believe this is all noise designed to stir panic. In this video, we're breaking down exactly what's happening, what's real, what's being exaggerated, and what this situation truly means for the Yankees moving forward, without the clickbait and without the drama. Now, let's slow things down and look at the situation clearly, because when it comes to Cody Bellinger and the Yankees, context matters more than emotion. Bellinger arrived in New York carrying a complicated reputation. Once an MVP, then struggling for consistency, then reinventing himself, he became one of the most intriguing players the Yankees brought into their mix. His value was never just about home runs or highlight plays, but about versatility, defense, experience, and the ability to fit into multiple roles depending on how the roster evolved. That flexibility is exactly why his name is now being mentioned in so many conversations. When a player can play the outfield, handle first base, and still bring veteran presence, teams around the league notice. That doesn't automatically mean he's leaving, but it does mean his situation will always attract attention. Over the last week, several reports hinted that the Yankees are evaluating options and monitoring roster flexibility, phrases that sound harmless on paper but ignite panic online. Fans immediately jumped to conclusions, assuming this meant Bellinger was on his way out. The truth is, front offices evaluate options constantly, especially when the offseason or trade window approaches. It's part of the job, not a signal flare that a deal is imminent. What complicates things further is the Yankees' broader roster picture. This team is not just thinking about today, they're thinking about payroll balance, long-term commitments, positional depth, and how to stay competitive in a division that never slows down. That means every player, not just Bellinger, is part of a larger conversation. When people ask, is Cody Bellinger leaving? The more accurate question is, does moving him make sense right now? And that's where the debate becomes interesting. On one hand, Bellinger provides stability. He gives the Yankees insurance at multiple positions, strong defense, and a left-handed bat that can still hurt pitchers when he's right. On the other hand, the Yankees are constantly searching for ways to optimize the roster, whether that means clearing space for younger players, reallocating money, or addressing needs like pitching depth or offensive consistency. None of that means Bellinger has failed or fallen out of favor. It simply means the Yankees are doing what big market contenders always do, exploring scenarios. Another thing fans need to remember is how rumors actually start. A single executive conversation, a speculative comment from an analyst, or even a casual mention on a podcast can snowball into breaking news within hours. That's exactly what seems to be happening here. There has been no official statement from the Yankees indicating they are actively shopping Cody Bellinger, and there has been no confirmation from Bellinger's camp suggesting dissatisfaction or a desire to leave. Yet the narrative online has already jumped several steps ahead, turning possibility into assumed outcome. That's where patience is crucial. When you look at how the Yankees have handled similar situations in the past, they tend to move quietly and decisively. When a deal is real, it usually comes together fast, not through days of vague leaks and speculation. If the Yankees truly wanted to move Bellinger urgently, we'd likely see more concrete signals by now. Instead, what we're seeing is a lot of monitoring, checking in, and keeping options open. That language doesn't scream exit, it screams due diligence. From Bellinger's perspective, staying with the Yankees still makes plenty of sense. Playing in New York offers visibility, competitive opportunity, and a chance to contribute to a team with postseason expectations every single year. He's already shown he can handle the pressure of big markets, and his experience fits the Yankees' desire for players who don't shrink under scrutiny. Leaving would mean starting fresh somewhere else, adjusting to a new system, and potentially taking on a different role. That's not something players rush into lightly unless there's a clear benefit. There's also the fan factor, which shouldn't be underestimated. Yankees fans are demanding, but they also embrace players who show effort, adaptability, and professionalism. Bellinger has earned respect for doing exactly that. Moving on from him would not be a purely baseball decision. It would also affect clubhouse dynamics and depth, especially over a long season where injuries and slumps are inevitable. One important detail that often gets overlooked in these discussions is timing. Even if the Yankees were open to moving Bellinger, timing would be everything. You don't trade a versatile veteran just to make noise. You do it if it clearly improves the team either now or in the future. That means the return would have to address a specific need, whether that's pitching, long-term assets, or a piece that better fits the Yankees' evolving strategy. Without that, there's little incentive to rush a move. That's why many insiders are suggesting this is more about awareness than action. The Yankees want to know what options exist, not because they're desperate, but because they're prepared. Another layer to this situation is the constant pressure on the Yankees to make big moves. Fair or not, this franchise is always expected to chase stars, shake things up, and dominate headlines. When something doesn't happen immediately, fans and media alike start filling the silence with speculation. Cody Bellinger's name fits perfectly into that cycle because he's recognizable, valuable, and flexible. That makes him an easy centerpiece for rumors, even when nothing concrete is happening behind the scenes. It's also worth pointing out that being mentioned in trade discussions doesn't mean a player is unwanted. In many cases, it's the opposite. Teams inquire about players they value, not ones they see as liabilities. The fact that Bellinger's name carries weight around the league speaks to his continued relevance and skill set. If anything, it reinforces why the Yankees would think carefully before making any decision involving him. As things stand right now, the most honest answer to is Cody Bellinger leaving is this: there is no confirmed move, no official plan to part ways, and no clear indication that an exit is imminent. What exists is a mix of speculation, normal front office behavior, and amplified reactions from a fan base that lives and breathes every rumor. That doesn't mean nothing could change tomorrow, because baseball is unpredictable and decisions can come together quickly. But it does mean that, as of now, panic is premature. The Yankees are weighing their options, as they always do, and Bellinger remains part of that equation. The key takeaway for fans is to stay grounded. Not every rumor becomes reality, and not every evaluation leads to a transaction. Sometimes, a massive update is simply the reminder that the Yankees are doing their homework. Until we hear something concrete, Cody Bellinger is still a Yankee, still a valuable piece, and still part of the conversation about how this team moves forward. And if anything does break officially, you can be sure it won't come quietly, but until then, the smartest move is patience.